Hi, this is David Lee. I'm the provost at Western Kentucky University, and we're at the 2016 Southern Kentucky Festival of Books. And this is Outside the Book, which might sound a bit odd for a title, but we sort of feel like that there are things to say with the authors, things the authors have to say outside the book, and this is our effort to give them that opportunity to say that. And our first guest on the program today is Bo Parrish, who is the author of The Problem with Perfect. Bo, thank you very much for being with us on Outside the Book.
Well, David, thank you. It's an honor to be here and listening to your introduction, specifically to the word outside. I think the first 2 minutes of our conversation to prove outside the ordinary, we actually learned that we had a connection from
Yes.
a long time ago that didn't even realize would have had we walked up and started this conversation.
Absolutely, a little outside the book for sure. The title of your book is The Problem with Perfect. What is the problem with perfect?
Well, David, if you think about perfection at the conceptual level, it sinks in with all of us that it truly is impossible. Yet oftentimes we see ourselves as that exception that we actually can be perfect. And so we try it once, and inevitably we fail and reach that level of imperfection, and we subconsciously tell ourselves is, well, I tried it once, I failed, why try again? And we end up paralyzing our potential. And if you think about potential in its core, potential is nothing more than unrealized talent. And because once in our lives we actually pursued perfection and we failed, that was such a negative experience that we do not allow ourselves to try again, and we inadvertently create for ourselves comfort zones with which we navigate life. Comfort zones allow us to navigate in predictable patterns that lead to normal circumstances. The word routine comes to mind. And so essentially the problem with perfect is that it's a title that we assign to ourselves to give up when really our potential lived out is a way of contributing to the world in a way that it's even beyond our own imagination.
Well, your life experience has been quite remarkable. I mean, you nearly died of Crohn's disease, complications from Crohn's disease. Now you're a highly conditioned triathlete. Tell us a little bit about that journey and how that works with perfect and not perfect.
Sure. So in 1993, I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease and suffered silently for 13 years. Crohn's disease is not necessarily a socially acceptable disease. It's not one that you're very proud about sharing with others. So I suffered in silence to the point where I required an emergency surgery in order to survive, and that was in 2006. Now, I knew that my body wasn't perfect, and so I should have listened to the surgeon in 2003 who recommended surgery at that point, which would have avoided the emergency that happened in 2006. But the emergency surgery in 2006 actually set me up on my current path of elite triathlon racing. So I essentially went from hospital patient to semi-professional triathlete. Triathlon was my purpose, was my pursuit to recovery, and my body, although now still far from perfect, it's certainly more conditioned than it was in 2006 when I was literally within 30 seconds of fighting for my life.
Well, given the success you've had as a triathlete, obviously you're a very driven person in a lot of ways. How do you keep that line between being driven and being motivated, but not on an uncompromising pursuit of perfection?
Well, so I have created for myself a path, and the path involves 6 specific points, and conveniently, as I write about in the book, they all begin with the letter P. David, I like to use alliteration as far as memory is concerned, and so literally on a daily basis, I run through these 6 Ps, the first of which is my potential for the day. Where is the difference between where I am now and where I want to be? Leading into the second P, which is pursuit. What is the first step I'm going to take towards reaching my potential today? The third step being pain. Anytime we try something different, inevitably we will experience pain. So I program my mind ahead of time to experience that pain, which quickly on the other side leads to perseverance. Because if we can anticipate pain, it makes it a little bit easier to deal with, even in a daily pursuit. On the other side of perseverance is passion, where the excitement returns. And then once I find my passion, even on a daily basis, I'm led to my purpose, ultimately, which is to fulfill the lives of those around us. You see, I truly believe in my heart of hearts that our purpose is not our own, and we are meant to serve others and to make the lives of those around us better. So even in a daily basis, when I start off realizing what my potential is for that day, and I end up reaching it, which would be my purpose, my wife is happier, my boys are happier, those that I work with are happier, and my training partners are happier. So it really is a 6-step process that I go through every single day.
And I suppose in a sense you're happier as well.
No question.
That's great. Bo, this is a remarkable story, a remarkable achievement on your part. Thank you very much for sharing it with us, and thank you very much for being part of Outside the Book.
Well, thank you for the opportunity to share.